Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Madden 21 Houston Texans franchise as we are now in week 2 of our second season and we will be facing off against the Las Vegas Raiders after a big win in New York against the Jets. We travel back across to the other side of the country to face off against the Raiders, who have got Brandon Jacobs as their running back, who is a beast. And so we're going to just try to slow him down, which, game day goal, obviously, one touchdown or fewer to kind of get us a little bit of perks for our defense. Now, we are going to jump into this, but while we do, you are going to notice a change. Brandon Cooks is no longer on the team. I did trade him for draft picks, and he opens up a bunch of cap space because Deshaun Watson will be up for re-signing in this go-around. And so that's kind of where we're going to be at coming into it. And our defense has some little bit of struggles with Brandon Jacobs, but most teams in the NFL do, as Jacobs does get a big first down carry on their first play of the game. And so now for the second play, from the 37-yard line with the 1st and 10, they will get the pass off to Snead, but we are able to knock it down. Vernon Hargraves coming in with the deflection. And our pass defense, like I said, last game was pretty good, except for when we failed to get any type of pressure. So obviously guys got open and big plays were made. And so now on the 2nd down and 10, Bernardrick McKinney steps up huge and has about his 4th tackle for a loss on the season, bringing Jacobs down behind the line, bringing up a 3rd and 13 for Oakland. And he just busts through, read it perfectly, and makes a good open field tackle on the tough to bring down Jacobs. So now with a 3rd and 13, Carr's alone in the backfield from the shotgun. He gets the snap and he throws it deep down the left. And once again, Conley deflecting that ball away, or really having it knocked away from him, forcing Oakland to punt the ball, and we will take over at our own 23-yard line. And we are going to start trying to do like we did last week. We're going to start trying to pound the rock as best we can. That really opened up a lot of holes for us last week, and I think we can get that to open up some holes for us this week. So now on a 2nd and 10 from the 23. Deshaun Watson's going to roll out to his right and get a good pass off to Randall Cobb, as he will make the catch for a big first down all the way to the 37-yard line. And that's the type of plays we needed. That's what we expect from him. And you'll see that's kind of why we were able to get rid of Cooks, because we weren't going to be missing too much. Now Junior with a big run off to the left makes a man miss and finally gets brought down at the 47. Our running game, this two-headed running back attack that we have, has proven to be extremely effective. So now a little later in the drive, we have it at the 25-yard line, and we're going to run a play action. We start rolling to the left with Watson, and we're going to take it off and try to get out of bounds, and he will be tackled, and he is going to be hurt. Watson is down. Sound the alarm bells. He is out, and oh my goodness, shoulder strain for Cobb. He's out too. And now we have to rest on the hopes of Chad Pryor, our rookie from Middle Tennessee State, and hope he can come in and step up big to see how bad Watson is going to be out for. And we're going to have to run the ball. This is just kind of a given at this point. So now with a 3rd and 5, we are going to need to pass, so we are going to keep it as simple as possible for Pryor, with him being just a 55 overall quarterback, as we drop it off to our tight end, Jordan Akins, who's going to get tackled for a loss. But we do get the field goal. So we do have a 3-0 lead, and the Raiders will take over at their own 25. So on the next play, they get it out to Willie Snead. Good coverage by Hargraves, as he is able to tiptoe and make that catch right at the boundary to bring up a 2nd and 3. And so now, 2nd and 3 from the 32, Carr under center. He'll take the snap and he'll drop it back off to Willie Snead on the out route, who will get about 4 yards again to bring up a brand new first down for Oakland. Our defense, I know it looks like it's wide open, but we're calling pretty deep zones on that because we don't want to get beat over the top. So we'll take those little 4-yard dump-off passes. And on the next play, they get it to Brandon Jacobs over the middle as he will pick up 8 yards, and they are starting to move down the field. And now they have a 2nd and 2 from the 44-yard line. Seems like when Watson went down, we had to get a little bit more conservative with how we were play calling. So I just felt we could make up for any mistakes. But on that play, Garyon Conley, he's going to step in front of that pass. He's going to intercept it. He's down to the 30, the 20, the 10. Can he beat Carr, who's going to make the tackle at the 1-yard line? What a play by our defense. Garyon Conley stepping up big and taking it all the way down to the 1, leaving our offense only 3 feet to go. And that is exactly what you need when you have a rookie quarterback in who's only a 55 overall. So with our 1st and goal, we're going to hand it off to Junior, who's going to take it in for the touchdown and give us a 10-0 lead here in the 1st quarter, just halfway through the quarter. And so now Oakland will take over. And we missed 1 tackle on that dump-off pass. And he stayed in bounds on that. And Brandon Jacobs will take the pass and get it all the way down to our side of the field on the 41. We cannot allow these big plays. We've got a young QB in. We cannot put him under pressure and have him try to make game-winning throws. We need to be better than that. So now, 1st and 10. And we're going to get a big sack coming up the middle. Tyquan Lewis, who steps in for our injured rookie. And he gets a massive sack, pushing the Raiders all the way back to their own 49-yard line for a 9-yard loss. And now with 2nd and 19, Carr will be in the shotgun. We're going to bring a little blitz off to the left. And he's going to hand it off right into our blitz package, and Brandon Jacobs will be brought down at the 45 after about a gain of 5 or 6 yards. So now they have a 3rd and 14 to go. Carr will be in the shotgun, 3 to his right, 1 to his left. And he'll take the snap and he'll heave it over the middle, and he gets a big play by his tight end, who's going to come down with the catch over the middle of the field for 27 yards, all the way down to the 18-yard line. Now our defense kind of struggling here at this moment, trying to get our feet back under us. And they're going to take the snap, and they're going to get a good pass off, and we will bring him down. But there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be roughing the passer. Tyquan Lewis got through. I didn't even think I hit the tackle button, but I guess I did. And so that will push the ball now to the 5-yard line, thanks to the half the distance to the goal rule. So they will take over 1st and goal from the 5. And Carr will be under center with 2 tight ends. He'll hand it up the middle to Jacobs, and Lewis making up for that personal foul, getting a big, heavy stop in the backfield. Boom. Knocking Brandon Jacobs back into the 2nd grade with that hit, as that will bring up 2nd and goal from about the 7 or 8-yard line. Yeah, it's from the 7. So 2nd and goal from the 7, needing another big play by this defense. And so they will take the snap from the shotgun, hand it off to Jacobs again, who will cut it to the right side of the center and will finally get brought down by Zach Cunningham at the 3. So that was a good gain, but we did get them stopped. They are a little bit closer, but we got the stop, and this will bring up a big 3rd and goal. And so from 3rd and goal, Carr will have 3 to his left, 1 to his right. Jacobs in the backfield. He'll take the snap, and he has nowhere to go with it, and he kind of just throws it away. And that will result in a field goal for Oakland, as we will take over with a 10-3 lead. And on the next play, the Raiders defense opens up like the Red Sea. Junior's at the 20. He's at the 10. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Houston Texans, 76 yards to the house for Duke Johnson Jr. And that will give us a 17-3 lead here still in the 1st quarter. And now on the Oakland's ensuing drive, after giving up 2 big plays to us, their tight end, Darren Waller, will go down injured, which that's going to be a big loss for them because they do really count on him in their offense. And after that rush for only a couple yards, they now have a 2nd and 8. Carr will be under center, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Jacobs in the backfield. Carr does a little fake pass and then hands it off to Jacobs, who's going to be stopped for a loss by one of our rookies, Walker, making the tackle. And he will be stepping up big for us so far in this game. He's done very well with his game last week against the Jets and Darnold. And then this week coming in, being able to make those big stops against a running back of Jacobs' caliber. That is what we expected from him. So now on a 3rd and 9 from their own 26, Carr gets the snap. He's taking a look. He gets hit as he throws, and that one will fall incomplete to the turf and force them to punt the ball away. So after that big run, we will take over at the 33-yard line, and we will hand it off again. This time it's to DJ, who will pick up about a yard or so, but that was a very tough yard that he ended up getting. And that will bring up 2nd and 9 from the 35-yard line. And I don't want to become pass heavy, but I need to get him used to throwing the ball. If Watson's going to be out for a while, we're going to have to give him a full offensive play scheme. And on the next play, he will hit QT on the slant. Who's going to break it free? He's to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kiki. Touchdown, Houston. Touchdown, Chad Pryor. His first passing TD of his career. Goes for about 75 yards to the house. What a play. Our offense is stepping up big with Watson being out, as we now have a 24-3 lead still in the first quarter. And on the Raiders' ensuing drive, they will get one big run from Jacobs, and then we'll get them down with a 1st and 10 to the 18. Jacobs will run it again as he will be stopped by Walker after a gain of 2, giving them a 2nd and 8 from the 16-yard line inside the red zone, as we are just now into the second quarter. And from a 2nd and 8, they will run it off to the right side. They got some good blocking, but Zach Cunningham steps up big, stops him before allowing a touchdown, allowing them to break it out, and will bring him down for a 1st and goal from the 8. Now Carr's alone in the backfield. He's got 5 wide. Carr takes the snap. He's looking. We start to get a little bit of pressure on him, and he will dump it off to his receiver. Who is that? Tyrell. I think that's who that was. Yeah, Tyrell Williams. Take it all the way down to the 1-yard line. And once again, Carr is going to be in the shotgun, 3 to his left, 1 to his right. And he's going to take the snap on a 2nd and goal. And we start to get the pressure, but it's too late. Tyrell Williams got open in the back of the end zone as Carr will hit him for the easy touchdown. And they answer back. 2 big plays, and they will finally get on the board to answer our touchdown. So on our ensuing drive, we hand it off to Junior. He's going to pick up about a gain of 4. We're going to try to slow it down for Pryor, make it easier on him to allow him to get a little bit more comfortable and understand big plays are not going to happen every single time he drops back to pass. So now, on a 2nd and 6, Pryor in the shotgun. He's going to take off to his left. He is a scrambler. He's at the 45, 50, 45, and he will slide down at about the 47-yard line after a 23-yard gain. Unafraid to run, but smart enough to slide. Our defense, after watching that, is getting prepared for their drive, liking what they're seeing from our offense. And after that big gain, we now have a new set of downs on the Oakland 47. And we're going to continue to kind of hammer this one home and to put the pressure on them. We cannot let up, especially, one mistake at that point completely changes the game. And we hand it off to Junior, who's going to fight for the first down. A big 11-yard rush. He got hit at about 8.5 yards, but finds his way to get the 11. So now a little later in the drive, we will have ourselves with a 1st and goal from the 3. Pryor drops back to pass and gets the ball away just before taking the sack, and that one will fall incomplete, and that will give us a 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. And now we're going to be stacked up heavy. We're going to give it to Junior running off to the right. He's going to run up the middle. We had the hole. We just missed it. And Junior will be stopped for no gain on that play. And so now 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Just under 8 minutes to go in the first half. 2-score lead over the Raiders. Pryor drops back. He sees Fuller open in the back of the end zone, and he will hit him for a big touchdown, his second touchdown pass of his career, and that will separate us even more from Las Vegas, giving us a 21-point lead at 31-10, as we still have 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Now on the ensuing drive, Oakland's going to start trying to pass it again. And they get a good pass play to Snead, who's going to get them all the way up from the 25 to the 38-yard line and give them a new set of downs. So now with the 1st and 10, 7 minutes to go in the quarter. Carr drops back, and he's going to hit his tight end on the drag route as he will break a tackle and then finally get brought down after a gain of 9. And that will give them a 2nd and 1. They're going to go I-right formation, 2 wide receivers set. Carr under center. He's going to take the snap, and he hands it off to Jacobs, who makes a little leap over some linemen, and he will pick up a big 1st down for them. So now we find Raiders with a 3rd and 7 from the 43, a little later in their drive. Carr will drop back. He's being chased, and he's going to be sacked by Charles Omenihu, former Longhorn, as he drops him all the way down to the 46-yard line, bringing up a 4th and 16 as they will have to punt the ball away, and we will take it over once again at our own 16-yard line as well. And we will get a big run with Junior on that first rush. He has 9 rushes for 133 yards on the day. Of course, it's easy to do that when you break one out for about 76. All right, now the 1st and 10 from our own 29-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the quarter. And we're going to hand it off to Junior. He's going to find a big hole up the middle again as we will take it to the 37. That is going to be a 9-yard gain. And we will have a 2nd and 1. And you know what? I'm not going to risk this. I don't want to have anything shabby happen. So we're going to hand it to you-know-who, Mr. Gillespie, to beast mode it up the middle. As he does, and he will give us a good 1st down carry. And a little bit later in our drive, we find ourselves at a 3rd and 9. Trying not to make too many big mistakes. Oakland brings the pressure. We do get the pass off, but it will fall incomplete. And that will take us to the half as we have a 3-score lead at 31-10 in this game. And our rushing game has really been the difference. 183 yards on the ground versus 130 through the air. We do also have the turnover, which has been big for us. So now taking a look at some scores around the league, the 49ers were demolished by the Titans, 45-31. Tannehill playing like an MVP with 4 TDs on the afternoon. The next game we're going to look at is the Packers visiting the Steel City as they will escape with a 3-point lead. Roethlisberger with 3 touchdowns, Rodgers with 3 touchdowns as well, as they are 2-0 on the season. And taking a look at what's ahead on Monday Night Football, the Ravens and the Chiefs, what has become accustomed to being a great, tough matchup between those two teams. That's going to be an exciting one. And so now we will get back to our second half action as we will start out with the ball for the first drive. And Pryor will dump it off to Kiki QT, who's starting to get more playing time with the trade of Cooks. And he will pick up a gain of 9, as that will get us to a 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line. And now from the 1-yard line, Pryor's going to be under center. We're going to power this one up the middle with Junior. And then we get the handoff, and there's a big gaping hole open over the middle as we do pick up the 1st down all the way to the 41-yard line. And that was a big play for us. That gives us a brand new set, a little bit more time to think, to get control, to make sure we remain calm and understand that, this game does not have to be won on a single play. And so on the next drive, 1st and 10, we're going to jump off the screen pass, and just the way that AI works, we kind of get jingling on that and stopped for no gain. What probably really should have been a gain of about 20 or so, stopped for no gain just because of the way the movement happens to work out. So we now have a 2nd and 10 from the 41 as we have 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And we're going to run it right up the middle. Junior started to get a hole that was open, and they somehow lay the wood to him and knock him down for a gain of about 5 yards, as that would bring us to 3rd and 5. And so from the shotgun, Pryor will take the snap. And he's going to examine the field, roll to the right. He sees an opening. He's going to take a run, and he will slide down for the big first down conversion that we needed, making sure not to take too many hits. So now a little bit later in the drive, we will find ourselves in the red zone at the 17-yard line, handing it off to Junior. He will pick up a couple yards and get us down to the 15 and bring it to a 2nd and 8. This has been a long drive. We are almost at the 7-minute mark of this drive, wearing down this defense. And on the 2nd and 8, he will roll to his, not really roll to his right, but scan the field and get a pass off to Cooks and Fuller, but that one is going to be deflected with a great play by their linebacker. And so now we have a 3rd and 8. I guess that is actually their safety 8. He plays in the linebacker spot up a lot of the time. So good play by him. And on the next play, I'm pretty sure Watson could have fit that one in, but it just wasn't meant to be. And so we will have to kick the field goal, giving us a 34-10 lead. Now on the ensuing drive for Las Vegas, they will take the ball and hand it to Jacobs, who's been pretty well contained so far in this game, but he does pick up 5 yards on that one, bringing him to 2nd and 5. And then Carr will take the snap from the shotgun. He will drop it off to his receiver, who's just waiting for him for a gain about 6 yards on that one. And now they have a brand new set of downs at 1st and 10. And Carr will be in the shotgun. 3 to his left, 1 to his right. He'll take the snap. He'll dump it off on basically the drag route to Snead, who will make the catch in traffic and get moving down the field. So now a little later in the drive, we find them at the 1st and 10 at the 18. And we almost are able to jump that pass route to Snead. Just couldn't quite come up with it. The ball will drop to the turf, and that will bring up 2nd and 10 as they are still at the 18-yard line inside the red zone. And Carr now takes the snap from the shotgun. He scans the field, and he will find Tyrell Williams open on the slant route for about a 10-yard gain, maybe 11. But that will give them a 1st and goal to go. Now, we had a long drive, taking about almost 8 minutes off the clock. They're having a pretty decently long drive at about 4 minutes, give or take, so far. And so if we got to give up, and we get the interception on that one. Levi Wallace coming through, talking about letting them just drive it down the field. And he will come through with a big play. Our free agent signing gets the interception, and we will take over possession at the 4-yard line with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And our first play, we will hand it off to Junior, who looked like he fumbled, but they said he didn't, so I'm not going to argue with him on that. And he will get a gain of 4. So now with a 2nd and 6 from the 8-yard line. Looking to kind of take some time off and be careful with this one. We hand it to Junior again, who's going to go up the middle and only pick up about a yard or 2, as that will bring up 3rd and 3 from our own 10-yard line. Once again, we cannot make a stupid mistake, get a safety, or throw a pick 6 and allow the Raiders right back into this game, and that's what we almost do. Almost threw that pick 6. Thankfully, it fell incomplete, and we do punt the ball away to the Raiders, as they will take over at about the 44-yard line. And the first thing they do is give it to Jacobs, who's going to get a big hole right up the middle, and that will give him the 100 yards on the day, as we still have a whole quarter of football to go. And so now with the 1st and 10 from the Texans 39, Carr's in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He gets a quick pass off to the receiver, who bounces off the turf right to his feet and drops the ball as well. So that will be a 2nd and 10 now from the 39. Carr's under center, 2 tight ends. And he gets off the slant pass that time to Williams, who's able to make the catch and get a gain of 8 yards, take it down to the 31. So now with a 3rd and 2. Carr is going to be under center. Tight end to his right, 2 receivers to his left, or 2 receivers to his right. And he will hand it off to Jacobs, so the receivers don't matter. And Jacobs will power it home to pick up 3 yards to get it first down. So now we catch up with the Raiders a little later in this drive at the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 11, and we have started the fourth quarter. He will get the pass off to Snead, who's going to get tackled for a gain of 8, all the way down to the 3-yard line. And we are going to go heavy on heavy. Big against big. 2nd and 2. They're going to toss it out to Jacobs, and we're going to end up making the play. That was our rookie safety coming up big, getting the tackle for a loss. Could not ask for a better game out of him today. That is why we drafted you, good sir. So now on a 3rd and 6 from the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left and 1 tight end. Jacobs in the backfield. Carr's going to scan the field and take a snap. He reads it, and he finds Snead coming over the middle on the slant, as that will give him a touchdown and make the score 34-16 right now. They are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Once again, heavy on heavy, man on man, beast against beast. Carr will drop back, and we will get the sack on him real quick. That will be our 3rd sack of the game, as that will make the score 34-16 and keep it at an 18-point game. So once again, that is still 3 scores that Las Vegas is trailing us. So now on the ensuing drive, we're going to go ahead and power this. We know we have their defense worn out. This is where we need to take it over. We have 13 minutes left on the clock. It is 2nd and 2 from our own 32-yard line. And this is our moment. This is where we separate ourselves this year from last season. As we will get tackled. We should have been at the line of scrimmage, but apparently we fell on people the way the game read that, and it gave us a loss of a yard. That was pretty dang shiesty, but it is what it is if you ask me. That's just how Madden goes sometimes. So now on a 3rd and 3 from the 31. 2 tight ends, 2 to our left. And we're going to hand it off to Junior up the middle, who's going to not quite get it, as that will be 4th and inches. So do we punt the ball? Nay, sir. We're not giving up that easy. We've been hammering it on them running all day. So now we're going to give it back to our big fella, Colin Gillespie, and he will take it up the middle for a gain of about 4 yards. We needed 12 inches. He gave us 4 yards. So we will take that any day of the week, as we now have a brand new set of downs, 1st and 10 at the 37. And we are going to continue to run the ball. I said this will not be showy, it will not be pretty, it will be ugly, and it will be violent, but it will be necessary. And after a gain of 6, taking us to the 43-yard line, we now have ourselves a 2nd and 4. And splitting time with Junior and DJ, it makes it a lot easier on them to keep them fresh. So on the next drive, next play, 2nd and 4, we get a gain of about 2 on that one. And so that will bring up 3rd and 2 from the 45-yard line. But if you notice, we've already taken off almost about 3 minutes of clock off the game, as we are now down to under 10 minutes to go. And this time we hand it off to DJ. He's going to find a big hole open over the middle as he gets it all the way down to the Las Vegas 46. And once again, we have a brand new set of downs. And now on a 3rd and 3, a little later in the drive from Las Vegas 28. Pryor will take the snap. He's going to roll to his right. We have an opening. Pryor's going to run. He's at the 15. He will slide down at about the 14-yard line with a big 1st down conversion. We have been wearing them down this whole drive. As you can see, we now have just under 7 minutes to go. We've only passed the ball minimal amount of times and have been just running it right down their throats. And so now with the 1st and 10, we're going to get some trickeration coming in here. We're going to have Fuller coming from left to right as he will take the handoff. And I was hoping we could have had a little bit of a hold, but hey, we still get 3 yards, and that's still time wasting off this clock, as we will be under 6 minutes when we take this next snap. And now with the 2nd and 7, we're going to put Pryor in the shotgun, give DJ a little bit more time to read the field, and we're going to hand it off to him up the middle. He's not going to have much space to go, as he will get stopped. at the 12-yard line, bringing us to a 3rd and 8. And you'll notice we have 5.5 minutes. So once again, every single snap we take is a snap closer to victory. 3rd and 8 from the 12. We are going to pass the ball. Pryor drops back. He sends it over the middle to Cobb, who's going to make the catch and the touchdown. He will score a touchdown, his first of the game, Pryor's 3rd, as we will now lead 41-16. That is the icing on the cake that we needed. That is something we did not have last year. It is something we obviously have going for us this year. And so now on the ensuing drive, 5 minutes to go for Las Vegas. Carr will take the snap and he will drop back, and we will deflect that pass. Zach Cunningham on the coverage. And if y'all remember, personal foul, roughing the passer, jeez. If y'all remember Zach Cunningham last year, I mean, my goodness, he couldn't cover anything. You know, it just was impossible for him. But that time he made a great play for us. If the roughing the passer had not occurred, they would be at a 2nd and 10. So now on a 1st and 10. They are going to get it off in a little drag route to their wide receiver, who's going to end up making a man miss and getting to the 50-yard line, giving them a brand new set of downs. And they are driving. And so now at the 1st and 10, 4.5 minutes to go in this game. Carr from the shotgun. He'll take the snap and he dumps it off to Jacobs, who's going to get tackled immediately. Nardrick McKinney read that one coming all the way, as we will stop him for a short gain of 4, as this now comes to 2nd and 6. And now on a 2nd and 6, they'll run the screen play, and this time he is going to be stopped by our rookie defensive end. What a play he made. Walker with 3 tackles and the sack on the day. And that one is a big one, allowing only about a yard on the screen pass. So now 3rd and 10. Carr in the shotgun. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. He'll take the snap, and they run the screenplay again. And this time it works to perfection as Cobb gets all the way down, and he does get blasted by McKinney. But that will take him all the way down to the 28-yard line. And this is really just a drive for pride for them, because they do not have any chance of winning the game, especially with the way this clock is ticking down on it. It's now 1st and 10 from the 28. Carr's going to get it over the middle to their tight end, who's going to get down to the 17 and bring up another 1st down for the Las Vegas Raiders. And now with the 1st and 10, just almost to the 2-minute warning. Carr's under center, 2 tight ends, heavy set. 1 receiver out to his left. He'll do the play action. And he's eyeing his receiver, and he throws it up, and we are going to jump up and make the catch. Garyon Conley with his 2nd interception of the game, and that will do it, and we will be victorious in this game. Pulled it off big. Watson went down early. Our defense stepped up. Our running backs stepped up, each one of them nearing 100 yards. Well, Junior well over 100 in the first half alone. As you can see, we had only 165 pass, but almost 300 rushing yards. We had more rushing than they had passing yards. So that was a great game, and our defense played excellent with 3 turnovers on the day. And so we have a lot of upgrades to do. First one is going to be Justin Reed, our free safety. He's an 86 overall. We're going to upgrade his zone, which will give him awareness, pursuit, and +3 in tackling. Next comes Mr. DJJ, or Junior as he's being called this year, with a great game by him, massive run, scoring touchdowns, and he will get his elusive upgrade, which increases his vision, break tackle, carrying, and his awareness. Now next comes Kiki QT with that big touchdown pass, the first one of Pryor's career on that long play for him. And where did he get that? To come out of the slot on the slant. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking about upgrading for him, because that's where he's going to be playing a lot of. So that will give him awareness, catch in traffic, and short route running increases. Charles Omenihu coming in with a big sack, played very well on defense for us, as we are going to upgrade his power rusher stat. and that will give him a 75 overall. And next comes Dylan Cole, our backup middle linebacker, who always plays well whenever he's in the game. You gotta have to give it to the guy. And we are going to upgrade his pass coverage just because we know that's something that we need. And whenever he steps in, we're probably going to need him to cover some running backs coming on over the middle. Now, Jordan Akins, our backup tight end, he played pretty well for us, came in with some big catches. Nothing too spectacular. But we do upgrade his possession, which upgrades a whole bunch of stuff for him, including run block and run block power. I mean, my goodness. Isaiah Coulter, one of our wide receivers, we're just going to give him standard deep threat because that's the first one at the top. Not too worried with him. His development at this point, he's not at the point on the depth chart to where he's going to play. Davin Bellamy, we're going to upgrade his point. We may be needing him in the future just the way injuries tend to happen, so I am going to get him upgraded with everything that kind of fits our scheme. That will give him 2 awareness and 2 finesse moves. Now, Chad Pryor, the man of the hour, stepping in. We're going to upgrade his scrambler because that's really where he shined today in those couple big runs that we needed to make for the conversions. And so now we have to take a look at the damage done. With holding Jacobs out of the end zone, let's see what upgrades we get. 500 XP. And if y'all didn't see that little reminder right there, if you have not subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you did like today's video, hit the thumbs up button because that really does help out the channel and we do greatly appreciate it. And so let's take a look at Deshaun Watson. He's going to be out for 4 weeks with a pulled groin. Okay, so we only had 2 quarterbacks to start. And I'm going to have to go into free agency and grab one. So, yeah, it's just a tough deal to do. I've just got to say. Trying to find one that fits. I am going to go. There's P.J. Walker. He is a scrambler. He's only a 60 overall, so he's not going to cost me that much as far as cap hits go. And I think it'll be a pretty good fit for him in our scheme if he has to play. He is 60, so once I will bring him on, and they will try to put him ahead of Pryor in the depth chart, but I think Pryor earned his spot to start the next game, and we'll just kind of see how he does from there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get through this. Like I said, I'm going to end up picking up P.J. Walker, and we're going to get to the next game, which will be our first home game of the season. And that will be coming up against the L.A. Rams, so that should be a tough matchup. And so, yeah, here I am looking at his speed, acceleration, agility, all of them in the mid-80s. He's got a bunch of talent. But it's just one of those things. I wasn't planning on having him on the team. We got to do it for necessity purposes. With bringing him on, I do have to cut a guy. That's just another downside. I've got multiple dudes over lots of positions that we can afford the cut on. Let's see. I'm trying to remember who I end up cutting here, actually. I think I end up cutting a receiver because we have a decent chunk of receivers. Or maybe as a defensive back. It easily could have been a defensive back. In fact, I think that's probably what it was. Be Cornell Armstrong, if I'm not mistaken. I am looking at the cap space, knowing what I need, and knowing that I'm going to have to sign Deshaun Watson in the future. So, yeah, looks like it's going to be him. He's being cut. And so that will take us to the next game here in Week 3 against the Rams at home in Houston, finally. So be sure to join us for that. And once again, I do want to thank y'all for joining us for today's episode. And as always, everybody, stay safe. And, well, later, y'all.